Welcome to Daily Rising, Ignite Everyday Excellence. I'm Joan D'Amico, your mental performance mastery coach, here to bring you daily mindset and motivation strategies to fuel your success in every area of life. Get ready to ignite your excellence with today's show. I just got off of an incredible strategy call with this young man who is ultimately looking to open up his own insurance agency. And so as we were talking about some of the goals, I wanted to share some of the highlights of what we talked about because it might be beneficial as you're kind of thinking and planning some of your goals throughout this year and longer term. Right. So one of the things he was explaining to me what he needs to have in place as far as licensing and other things. But the big one that he has to have ready when an opportunity to move into one of these open slots arises is he has to have money to invest. And so I challenged him. The first thing is figure out how much you need to have set aside to invest should this opportunity become available to you, right? The next thing is figure out, he doesn't know when an opportunity would arise, but I said, now figure out when is it that you want to be able to step into a slot should it arise? Do you want to be ready that if there's an open spot by the end of the year, you can step into it? Is it the end of 2 years? You need to know that so you can figure out how you can start putting that money aside. One of his other goals is to pay down some credit card debt. So what he needs to do now is go and actually crunch numbers. Go and figure out what is he bringing in consistently? What does he need to be bringing in to pay down and also be setting aside? And how much does he need to be setting aside in order to hit the numbers that he needs to by the time he needs, right? So he can come up with that number. Now, he also said he doesn't want to give up the fun life that he's currently living, right? And a lot of people are going to say, well, you need to cut back and save and sacrifice. And I said, okay, dude, you don't want to do that? Cool. Go make more money. He is in a commission-based industry that is not capped. He's looking to open his own agency, which already is an entrepreneurial kind of mindset. I think too often we look to cut instead of just expand. If you're in a position to expand, go do that. Don't immediately look to what do I have to cut back? Don't limit yourself there. Now, realistically, we also talked about, okay, if you can't bring in enough, if the numbers don't make sense, you need to look at what you're willing to cut back on. How long are you willing to do that? Are you willing to cut back and make a small sacrifice for a small time in order for this big gain? And that's an individual question. As you are setting and looking at your goals, the things that you want to achieve, the things that are important in your life, they are personal to you. What makes sense to you is going to be different than to somebody else. Your priorities are different than somebody else. But if you can align your priorities and your goals and your mindset, you can have everything you want. Thank you for listening to another episode of Daily Rising. If you enjoyed today's show, drop a review and share it with your friends. Don't forget to check the show notes for a recap of today's message, along with valuable resources and opportunities to connect further and ignite your excellence.